Welcome on board ركان. How are you?
الحمد لله.
It's يعني جيت سعيد. أنا جيت زرتك في الأردن وجيت زرتك في بيتك الأول والثاني. هو في حقيقة بيت هو في مدبة. وصراحة اليوم الأول لما جيت عندك وشفت الريستورانت قلت هناك شيء جميل في مدبة، وبيتك جميل اللي هو بيت الخروب. مرحبا بك.
تسلم، أهلا وسهلا. مبسوط كثير بزيارتك، وبجوز أول محادثة عملناها كانت بنفس هذا المكان،
بنفس المكان، وأنا
بنفس
كنت
الموقع. كنت جالس هناك وأنا هون
وأنا كنت جالس.
أهلا وسهلا. يعني مبسوط فيك.
يعني I can't forget. So ركان، اليوم عملنا جولة على في الفارم وانبسطت كتير، والتيم انبسطت كتير. يعني شفنا passion، شفنا purpose، وعندك حب كبير لهذا الموضوع اللي هو الأرض، يعني حب الأرض و the land. احكي لنا شوي على هذا as an introduction.
شوي. بعرف، يمكن أنا واحد من الناس اللي إذا بتذكر طفولتي بتذكر قديش في تعلق بالطبيعة بشكل عام وبالتربة. فبحس إني من الناس اللي محظوظ إنه عندي هذا الاتصال أو هاي العلاقة من زمان، مع إنه بجوز معظم عمري ما عملت شيء بهذاك الاتجاه. بس بعد ما ينضج الواحد ويوصل سن 40 يمكن ويصير عنده أولاد، ويصير يطلع على حاول يطلع على المشاكل اللي عنا إياها، لأنه ما بدي أورثها لأبنائي يصير عندهم مشكلة في إنهم يجدوا الغذاء السليم. فمن خلال ترحالي بالبلد والمناطق القروية والطبيعية في الأردن، يمكن كان أول بزنس لإلي كإنتربرنور جراج بزنس بهذا البيت قبل بجوز بال2006. كان عندي هذا الباشن، مع إنه درست كان هندسة في البداية وثم hospitality business و food and beverage، بس ما في شيء شدني قد ما شدتني الإيكولوجي. فبلش مساري بالأردن بهذاك الوقت، عما حاولت إنه أعمل an organization بتنظم رحلات، أو بالبداية كان بدنا نعمل an ecolodge with activities and يعني rural life around it and adventure activities and so on. فتعمقت كتير هناك، وأسسنا عملنا شركة اسمها ترحال adventures، وبلشنا نعمل نطور أو to develop itineraries جديدة off the beaten path. من خلالها تعرفنا على يعني members بالcommunities برا عمان، يعني كشخص ربي بعمان. هذا الشيء عرفني على المناطق الزراعية والطبيعية والمجتمعات المحلية من بدو وفلاحين اللي تعلمنا منهم كثير. من ثم يعني بدأ في شوية struggle بالسياحة، لأنه بنضل vulnerable لكل المحيط عنا يعني بمنطقتنا. وبتعرف ما بدنا نحكي سياسة كثير، بس كل ما يصير شغلة حوالينا بتأثر علينا، فضل في fluctuation كبير بمسار الترحال، لأنها فقط كانت نشتغل في السياحة. نعم، السياحة الطبيعية المجتمعية أو الادفنتشر ترافل بمفهومه الأكبر، ولكن ما كان في sustainability as a standalone يعني company بهذا النيش، في ضعف somewhere. فقررت يمكن بال 2015 to pull out من السياحة وأبلش to rethink what I want to do to diversify basically. لأنه إذا بدي أضل معتمد السياحة راح يضل هذا الفلكشويشن سايكل شغالة. فهذا الشيء اللي بلشت أفكر بدي شيء more resilient, more sustainable. ففكرت بالفود production. That was one of the paths that يعني brought me here.
أنت دائما بتحكي we have a beautiful soil, no farming. Our system تحكي again, our system is designed with no relation with nature and humanity. بحب كثير الجملة with nature, no connection between nature and humanity. We see a lot of consumerism, but actually there is no value. And you, of course, you saw a lot of diseases. I mean, from farming revolution, of course. And then بس أنت كانت عندك also هذا الانكزايتي. يعني هذا حكي لنا شوي على هذا يعني كيف من الانكزايتي اليوم كونت مشروع اللي اليوم اسمه بيت الخروب. It's a trigger.
Yeah, absolutely. من يعني قبل 7 سنين بلشت هيك to be more conscious على anxieties أو يعني علاقتنا بالطعام بشكل عام. فقد ايه بتذكر بيضة الدجاج لما بالثمانينات كان عندنا دجاجاتنا ببيت أهلي مثلا بعمان على طرف يعني عمان الغربية. لهلا بتذكر طعم البيضة اللي جاي من الحديقة، وفقدناها عبر يعني 20 سنة يمكن مرقوا بسرعة وinflux of population and so on. وحتى يعني بتذكر الأراضي اللي كانت حول بيتنا اللي تنزرع قمح وبقوليات وكذا يعني بتدوير من مزارعين محليين اختفت، صار كلها عمارات وسكن يعني مشكلة التخطيط المدني العشوائي. فصار في زحف على هاي المناطق. بس علاقتي بالبيضة هاي مثلا صارت إنه طيب لما أشتري بيضة من السوق بدي شو اسمه آليها بالبيت. يعني عارف deep inside maybe most of us is in denial, but I started coming out of this denial. قديش فيها antibiotics وقديش أصلا يعني the chicken is النيوتريشن تبعه سيء، عم بياكل فقط grains وعلف مركز و antibiotics on daily basis عشان to support السيستم تبعه. وعم بيوصل لي بيضة حتى طعمها مش يعني غير مستساغ يعني. بالإضافة في ريزيدوز عليها بعرف إنه رح تشكل خطر إنه غذاء مش سليم، ولكن هذا اللي موجود بالسوق. فتخيل لما يصير عندك أولاد وبدك تطلع بس بتزيد هاي الانكزايتيز. فأنا I decided I want to do something about it. I want to recreate this, reproduce that old egg. But that was my first way into
so
farming.
You left the corporate world. Please.
Yeah, I left the definitely easy decision.
It was easy, but it's in a way.
I mean, easy decision to take. طبعا the practical side of it, and it takes a bit of planning. But I want to say something. I'm not sure if I said there's no farming. We need food, yet there's... What was your quote? No.
No farming. Okay, I'm sorry. So we have beautiful soil. لما حكينا على عجلون وحكينا على المناطق عندنا beautiful soil, but we don't see farming.
We don't see
efficient
the
farming.
correct
or productive
type of farming. Yeah. In a way, we've got brainwashed out of our indigenous farming knowledge and culture to the benefit of X and Y. But we've lost connection with the soil. And we adopted a farming system or food production systems that are degrading to our environments. والدليل إنه where are we now from our local food security? We define it as importing, the ability to import our food. But that's not true. That's a way going around it.
Yeah. And something you حكيتي لي يعني اللي هو you want to create more essentials in life, and basically your mission became create productive gardens.
Absolutely, yes. I wanted to produce my needs or some of my needs of whether it's vegetables, fruits, or eggs, or proteins. And that's where I started paying attention from my collective journey and anxieties and advices here and there of people that inspires you. Then I started reading, and there's some inspiring books and knowledge there if you dig for it. That's how it really started. We happen blessed to have a piece of land my family owned in Madaba من شي 30 سنة. Monoculture olive trees قدام حلوين,
just like everyone.
حلو. But like everyone, they converted لأنه خلاص we got brainwashed out of farming إنه
monoculture.
Yeah. When I started paying, for maybe 20 years, I haven't paid attention to this piece of land. I wasn't there. I was somewhere else, consciously. And I saw it as, the degradation. I'd rather spend my time in Dibbin, مثلا, closer to the forest, our farm nearby the forest. And I happened to have friends there who were part of the inspiration, كمان. And the kharoob tree that we camped under, Dibbin.
Sure.
And now our kids are camping under. For that connection to being close to the forest, to the rural, made me realize the biggest hurdle towards being a food producer and agricultural طبعا is owning or having access to land first.
Interesting.
Right? And I had that, and my attention was drawn by an old wise guy, and I see him as a sort of a tutor to me. So unofficially he doesn't know, but he inspired me. إنه مرة سألني, هو مزارع, he retired back from his life to the farm, and he's doing his beautiful work there. فسألني while we were spending time there with the kids at the farm, إنه عندكم مزرعة في مادبا, شو بتسووا فيها? And that was it.
Whoever sees you, he sees passion. And when I see passion, I always say you can't fight passion driven by purpose. How this passion and purpose became هذا المشروع?
I guess مع التخبط واللي the midlife crisis everybody goes through. A lot of people.
It's under pressure.
Yeah, you can turn it into, it's basically, it's not a crisis really. It's just that you lost the purpose. Maybe you worked to get the house, the car, the whatever illusion of happiness you went over. And then when you got it, you got lost again. Turned out it's nothing permanent. But looking back to search, it's an inward and outward journey to reconnect and feel, and once I took the mission, قلت خلاص I'm resigning, no more business without soil. Everything made sense to me. I'm psychologically it brought me down, anxieties. Once you take an action towards the solution, خلاص you start, it's therapy. فلقيت حالي بالزراعة, especially that سيك أنا as a character ما بحب أتخصص بشغلة معينة, فدائما عندي different endeavors, whether it's a hobby or or something that I work أو شو اسمه, I go vertical بكتير شغلات, I take my time فيها. But once I found farming, that encapsulates a lot of things. If you like chemistry, it's there, biology is there, mathematics, physics, a bit of شو اسمه craft, بدك تعرف شوية تحداده, شوية نجارة, شوية design, and then
I feel like it's a journey of knowledge acquisition, or there is a learning curve. And how did you face it?
تعرف كيف لما تكون أنت you're accumulating knowledge, but nothing binds high knowledge together towards something functional. If you're somewhere in between left brain and right brain, لا أنت an engineer ولا أنت an artist, and then
but then you bring them together.
And then and هذول الناس عادة they get lost بالsystems and rigid systems تبعتنا, whether it's in the education system ولا شو اسمه, we tend to focus on the academic and classical sciences and forget about the soft sciences يعني. And nobody teaches farming in school or how to grow your food or how to preserve your food. No one teaches you that.
When we spoke this morning, I saw passion, and I told you passion with purpose. You cannot fight passion with purpose. But in the meantime, it's difficult on the road. It's difficult to be alone. It's difficult to. You have a lot of problems. What is the problem you fixed that was very important that maybe triggered change?
Oof. Yeah, this is the very problem that led us to the solution in large, actually. It was basically when I started put my attention to the farm and wanted to grow some vegetables and have some chicken and recreate the egg and the healthy organic food for my kids. So we got hit with the problem of water, scarcity, shortage. Yes, it's not raining as it used to be. Everybody is facing that all around. It's a global issue طبعا. whatever يعني مية البطل في مية dedicated للزراعة في بلد زي الأردن, في معظم المناطق اللي كانت زراعية لآلاف السنين. تنساش إحنا الهلال الخصيب, يعني جزء من الهلال الخصيب اللي كان بلشت كل الزراعة فيه يعني من أيام 11,000 سنة, مش أكثر. فمشكلة المية, كيف بدنا نأمن مي حتى لو بدنا نشتري تنكات مكلفة ومش دائما متوفرة بالصيف, وحتى لو بدنا ناخذ من مية البلدية غير إنها مكلفة, كميتها يعني لا تسمح تيجي مرة بالأسبوع. فصرنا ندور على طيب ماء المطر, وأهم مية من حيث النوعية طبعا. وحتى بالصحراء إذا بتطلع بيجي أمطار بس تتحول لفيضانات, لأنه ما في شيء بيهدي المية أو بيستفيد من المي, فبتحول لكراكس بالصحراء, بتجرف في التربة وبتهدرها. فلما صرت أشوف شو الحل في المزرعة, لقيت إنه يمكن 2-3 بالسنة لما تشتي مزبوط بصير في فيضان صغير, عم بيجي سيل على حد المزرعة بجزء من المزرعة, وبدخل على المزرعة بجرف تربتنا وبطلع من الجهة الثانية. فكانت تقريبا أقل من نص المزرعة بشوية كل سنة عم نفقد تربة وعم تنزل الأرض وبتقرب على الصخر يعني عم بتكشف الصخر, وصارت طبقة التربة اللي نقدر نزرع فيها ضحلة يمكن 20 سنتي ببعض الأماكن, ولكن في كمية مي كبيرة عم تيجي. فلما صرنا نفكر كيف ممكن نحجز هاي التربة, شو ممكن نبني خزان, نعمل بركة, كيف ممكن نفلتر المي ونخزنها عشان نقدر نزرع فيها باقي الربيع بعد الشتوية. هذا البحث لقيت إنه ما في إشي أفضل من إنه يكون عندك تربة اسفنجية تحفظ كميات أكبر من المي, أضعاف المي اللي تربتنا من وراء الحراث يعني الجائر اللي ما له داعي بكثير من الأحيان, زائد إنه ما في جذور ونباتات وما في ظل دائما مكشفة. صارت ومع التراكتور صار في كومباكشن بالتربة, فقدت خاصيتها الاسفنجية. فهي المشكلة اللي وصلتني للحل, إنه هي التربة هي الخزان الأول للماء في الطبيعة. الغابة اللي بتدوم أو الواحة بتلاقي إنه تربتها بتقدر تمسك المية لفترات أطول كثير من التربة. مزرعة بنظام أحادي الزرع وبستعمل التراكتور بشكل مستمر, ما فيها regeneration. فهو البحث كان عن كيف أقدر أحول التربة الديجريدد أو سيمي ديجريدد اللي عندي، مع إنه تربة حمراء فيها مينرالز، فيها يعني خواص حلوة، ولكن فقدت الحياة لأنه دائما معرضينها للشمس وللهواء
وهذا هو النولج.
فهذا هو اللي وصلني لمربط الفرس اللي هي التربة. إذا إحنا كنا نطلع على الزراعة دائما كأنها أو إنتاج الغذائي، دائما نطلع إحنا على ما فوق القشرة أما ما داخل الأرض ما بنعتبره كائن حي، أو ما بنعتبر التربة فيها حياة. يعني بيقول لك كمشة تربة من غابة غنية بيكون فيها 7 ل 9 مليار كائن حي دقيق. هاي الكائنات الحية تشاركها مع جذور النباتات والنباتات والحيوانات هي اللي بتخلق الخصوبة بالتربة. فإحنا نظمنا الجديدة نظمنا الجديدة يعني دمرت هاي الخاصية للتربة. صار يطلع على التربة كأنها ميديوم فيزيائي بمسك جذر النبات، وأنا بجيب السماد بحطه للنبتة بدل ما الطبيعة هي اللي توفر لي إياه.
أنت دائما تحكي على هذا السيرفس، تحكي if you understand under the surface you will become better farmer. هذا
100% وبيشاركني يعني ما بدي هذا الكوتيشن مش إلي لأنه
لا بس
يعني بجوز قرأه، بس I believe in it تماما، لأنه ما فهمت شو يعني تربة إلا لما كيف بدك تفهم هذا الميديوم إذا ما طلعت شو بيصير فيه تحتي، كيف تكون بالأصل.
So عندك methodology اللي حكيت عليها هي trouble shooting. عندك يعني كيف you to improve water dries the healthy soil. هذا الترابل شوتينج ميثودولوجي يعني كيف وصلتي لأنه أحسن طريقة حتى you can grow your production and your science؟
I guess يعني بأي مجال بتواجه فيه صعوبات ومشاكل you either identify the problem and define أو design the solutions أو
بس أنا
go do something else.
But it's
right?
every day. And every day you're doing
دائما
every day.
في trouble shooting لأنه it's an evolving system. يعني nature is ever يعني constant is the أو إيش يقولوا التغير هو الconstant الوحيد. right? فالنظام البيئي الطبيعي الغذائي دائما في هذا evolution وعبر دورات فترابل شوتينج مستمر. كيف حولنا مشكلة المية والفيض اللي كان يجي على المزرعة يجرف المزرعة ويطلع بفيتشرز بسيطة. طبعا بس تعلمنا وأخذنا يعني بلشنا يعني البداية هي المعرفة، النظام المعرفي اللي أنا بدي أقوم عليه كمزارع جديد. أنا ما عندي كان خبرة من أول، ولكن شايف by observation إيش عم بصير بنظمنا الزراعية. وبالحديث مع عبده مثلا بالمزرعة كان مزارع واشتغل بنظم اللي بنحكي عنها يعني والكيميكالز والأسمدة الكيماوية والمبيدات والكذا. لما هو يحكي لك إنه هو ما بياكل من الأشياء اللي كان يزرعها، كانوا يزرعوا إلهم شو يعني هذا الحكي. It's alarming, right? how can you solve هاي المشكلة؟ how we can turn organic وكيف تعمل moisture retention بالمزرعة عندك اللي تقدر حتى بجو عم بتصحر بتسارع مع التغير المناخي وكذا. يعني مشاكل كبيرة عالمية وفي مشاكل يعني صغيرة ولكنها shared.
part of your growth is the friends and the friends of the farm, which is the other farmers.
Yeah.
That's how you build the growth as well. Like you connected with other farmers. How did you do that? Like it must be not only difficult, like to create a community of believers.
هو you either you do that and to combat loneliness and to يعني once الحلو بتعرف إيش بالمزارعين يعني the more books I read the more I see how eager they are to share their knowledge.
Interesting.
Whether it's permaculture, regenerative farming or organic farmers, it's amazing how much they want. لأنه they realize that abundance is there. It's a law in nature. ما في scarcity in nature. It's one, our mindset, نظمنا المعرفية, and our bad designs that makes it, that creates this scarcity. But nature in principle, law of abundance, it fascinates me. يعني لما حبة تعطيك شجرة ثمر وكل ثمرة فيها
abundance.
والسنبلة it's always there. لما يكون عندك شوية دجاج ولا شوية حمام ولا شوية شو اسمه, they compost, they create السماد اللي بدك إياه. You don't need to do much.
I like
you
that.
understand those creatures and how to integrate them, how to design your farm or your land or your garden or your city or your village, your landscape into a system that works harmoniously together. And a chicken, instead of just being a chicken that lays eggs and انت بتاخد البيضة, you feed it a monoculture of ذرة ولا شعير. The chicken can be part of the life system, the living يعني شو اسمه, in the farm. It can manage the soil for you. هي بتنكش وبتعشب و it cleanses even يعني controls the bugs, controls شو اسمه, while producing for you. This is where that quest to sequester water led us to soil. How to change the soil? That quest led us to Nordic farming. Farmers اللي وقفوا الحراثة and started using cover crops and different systems to manage and to enrich their soil and their success stories. And then it led me to permaculture, which is a more holistic.
احكي لنا على permaculture. This is amazing.
So يعني regenerative farming is, let's say, a component بالpermaculture that بحكي على كيف تنتج طعامك بشكل دائما متجدد, while التربة تاعتك هو الأساس متجددة وعم بغنى محتواها مع الوقت. فأنت مش عم بتاخد منها, عم تاخد وتعطيها. فعم you're building the abundance يعني thresholds اللي موجودة. فالpermaculture is the word comes from permanent culture or permanent agriculture. So you try to build permanence in culture. So you start, it starts by instilling first an understanding of nature, the law of abundance, the energy systems, the renewable energy systems in the world. So you develop an understanding of how to deal with water, how to harvest your water, how to harvest your sun, how to harvest, how to enrich your soil and create regeneration فيه, while you're producing food بطريقة تكتر to reach that abundance of production with healthier, much more nutritious food, right? فالpermaculture is the science/art out of the rigid classical box of sciences and methods that gives you a toolbox to design your settlement within whatever natural system you're given, whether انت بالصحراء ولا بمنطقة tropical ولا بالثلج ولا شو. You can work with your climate to create the microclimate you need using natural systems من أشجار ونباتات وحيوانات وbugs يعني كل شيء بيلعب دور في
And this is what's beautiful about the philosophy of permaculture is that it's not only farms and agriculture is also about the design of the space. It's designing the space. It makes sense, you know.
Yeah, so permaculture يعني looks at things holistically first and instills ethics in dealing with natural system. So how to produce food, how to create your food forest while you have an ecosystem that can go on for years to go يعني going يعني open end. So it starts with this knowledge system of understanding every species, and it's a learning journey. And you don't learn it and then go live it. No, it's the journey you take. Yani when you step into this field. So you start looking at your farm, or your garden, or your village, whatever your project you're working on. بطريقة holistic, how can I have the best water management systems فيها? How can I block the hot wind that's evaporating the moisture بالsystem عندي? How can I build maybe a forest shelter that blocks the wind and gives me shade? How can I diversify my trees and use every drop of water for multi crop that collaborates instead of going for a monoculture that is competing one tree or one plant next to each other.
So how do we take all this to create a market? If you notice, we are not in only your infrastructure, your structure. The Beit Kharoub is not only at the farm.
No.
Beit Kharoub is today live. We are live from the restaurant and from this chain. How did you take all this chain to serve a market?
So that was an interesting journey, صراحة, where I had the choice. I was at a crossroad where I either create a farmstead and go off-grid and live in my own bubble, or connect to the market and try to collaborate to create a better impact, a bigger impact, to connect with more people and to benefit, to create win-win scenarios. So I try to apply the principles of permaculture on my business model. And I thought, what do we really need to try and monetize, not in a commercial sense, but yes, in an economic sense, looking beyond sustainability, how to turn these principles بالbusiness mindset. The answer was collaboration. What we lack in the market, if you look, is بدنا احنا to create this alternative market ونرجع بالindigenous knowledge to bring it up to a contemporary level. We can't say إنه يا ريت لسه في زي زمان يعني الأسواق القديمة ولا farmers markets. We can bring it back to create this alternative market. I thought I had this house بمادبة that I renovated a long time ago. I thought, what better opportunity I have having this beautiful venue than making a connection أو a hub زي حلقة وصل بين مش بس مزرعتنا ولكن مع مزارعين ومنتجي الأطعمة في القرى اللي حوالينا أو في البلد أو بالريجن locally. فحولنا هذا الفنيو ل farm to table يعني concept kitchen restaurant and a cultural space to connect with more people. الناس اللي راح يجوا for the farm experience عنا أو to a workshop أو a seminar أقل عددهم كتير من الناس اللي ممكن تيجي to have good food, and then that's where you grasp them. We all love good food, and when they come and they hear the stories and just you raise their awareness and wow, if we collaborate locally business wise ما في عنا ولا ingredient that is مستورد by all the dishes we make the ingredients based in I want to work with seasonal local food and encourage هذا السبلاي تبعهم. We started connecting بدنا جبنة, we started connecting مين المزارعين, مين الرعيان البدوان.
Just to add, what's interesting is that this project made you guys and made all suppliers visible to the to the market, and then the demand raises. That's how it happened, I guess.
Yeah.
So the suppliers and the connection and the collaboration, you made it happen with this chain of
what they need. We can rebuild our rural economies, but we need the market link, the ethical market link, ethical and smart,
like
to be making a profit. We don't want charities. We want to revive it and there's a ton of value in the indigenous knowledge that women alone have. انسى باقي المزارعين القدام. يعني this know-how is very valuable. فإحنا we're lucky هون إنه لسه عم نلحقهم. Going to meet the farmers, the food producers, the artisans in their own landscape and learning about their journeys, their struggles, their problems, and they come to our farm, we go to theirs, and we try to bring ideas, and whatever we learn, we're sharing. The native trees we're producing in the nursery at the farm, more than 90% is to support high we're going to prioritize, yes, our supply chain. لأنه we want to connect with the like-minded يعني, farmers who are farming with clean systems. We're not being stringent in I want the permaculture وش اسمه. يعني, we need to support clean systems and indigenous farmers around to re-establish. That's the dream.
When we started,
without the community, you're not going to go far.
When I came to you first time, we shared the idea that I'm coming with the concept of betterment, but I was into a very different space. And then you introduced the betterment of
the soil.
Of the soil.
Yeah.
But then now in this exchange, you're introducing the betterment of the
soul,
like
in a way.
Badia, it could be interesting story. So two words that really that are magic for me today, and that's a learning curve for me. Harvesting and recycling. It's happening in your model.
Absolutely. And it was يمكن أكتر شيء كنت مبسوط عليه when we finally opened the space. What I was filming لما فتحنا بيت الخروب was the bin that collects the food scraps from the kitchen, because I know that's it's going to go back to our compost system بالfarm. But for me in my head it was a cycle closed, يعني achievement. فكل الفود waste اللي موجود including الورق كرتون placemats napkins goes to the compost system and gets treated through heat and through the organisms that digested, and that's how we're creating the tons of compost we're producing. You combine هاي الفود waste مع waste من الأشجار ومن البرانشز and then you have your need for you're self-sufficient.
And I have to say there is another word called shade. Shade is magic, I think.
Shade is
how to create shade
is magic. Well, when you look at your soil and you see how stressed your olives are, and you look deeper, and it's because the medium of the soil is stressed out, and with the heat waves and the thirst, they're struggling down there. But cultivating shade to cool down the climate for those creatures to start growing and coming back is very underestimated. Yeah. Last
question. And I don't want to finish, by the way. Yeah. It's definitely something incredible, this journey with you today and the last week. Last word, and what can we learn from Kharoub and Rakan's and the family's journey? Everyone, like, what can we learn from this journey? I know it wasn't easy.
To me, no. What really gave me hope and the motive and the energy to keep going you can use creativity to reimagine the way you want to live, or the sources of your food, or your habitat, or what you do. To me, it's not only a betterment of my own person and as a soul connection to the environment around me, من الأكل to the dog, to the cat, to the lizard. It's the confidence that we can reimagine and put our money and effort and time where our mouth is and where our heart is and passions are, and make it happen. And with the design and with the collaboration instilled with the community and whether it's farmers and the awesome consumers. ما بدي أسميهم consumers لأنه there are community and guests and visitors. You can create a business model that it's also rewarding. And that's what we're trying to demonstrate. On the farm, we're trying to demonstrate that we can work with nature to create abundance. And here we can work out our businesses in a way that creates abundance for us and for the people we work with.
As I said, it was lovely, amazing.
My pleasure.
I loved how you are aligning entertainment, recreational, and education in one. And that's Beit Kharoub. Thank you so much for today.
You're most welcome.
I,
Ahlan, thank you.
we're hungry
شكراً
now.
لك. Yeah, appreciate
now we can eat, right?
Yeah.
Thank you,
All right.
Rakan. Thank you
Allah
so
Ta'ala.
much. Really, I really loved it. I really loved
Enjoyed
it.
it.